Hey guys, Coach Edwards here with lacrossegoalietips.com and lacrossegoalieuniversity.com. Welcome to another video. Listen, do me a favor, when you watch my videos, leave me a comment below or send an email or like it on Facebook or send me a message. That's really the juice that keeps this all going. And by all means, share it with a goalie or a coach or a parent who needs to hear it. I would appreciate it. Listen, this week, a great question from Felix. Felix is in Baldwin, Maryland, and Felix asks, hey, I switched to playing lacrosse goalie now on account that our old goalie quit. I could save shots from a distance quite easily, but when I have someone running straight at me and they shoot it within 5 feet, I freeze up because I don't have a clue where they're gonna go. If you can give me any help, I sure would appreciate it. Listen, Felix, this is not an uncommon question. Stopping shots from in close for lacrosse goalies is really hard, and it's harder than most every other sport because of the types of sticks that we use in lacrosse, the ability to fake and all those good things. And so I've got a couple tips for you to just kind of make the most of it. But know this, so tip number one is know this. There's 9 other players on the field that are supposed to stop that guy before they even get to you. So stopping shots within 5 feet on a lacrosse goalie, while they are rare, they shouldn't be common. Right? And so a lot of young goalies, when I get emails like this from a lot of young or new goalies or goalies in new lacrosse programs, they see a lot of these 1-on-0, like basically one on the goalie situations more often than most. All right, so number one, don't get discouraged. Realize that you should have defense on your team that shouldn't be giving up these types of plays. All right, and stay positive, okay? Because kind of tip number 1A is that your responsibility as a lacrosse goalie is to have the assumption, the attitude that you can stop every shot. You may not be able to do it now, but you will be able to do it as you get more experienced, okay? If you watch my 3 keys to making any save video, you'll see a little bit more of the philosophy I have in this, but so it's super important. Okay, so tip number 1, just realize you're not the only player on the field. If you get stuck with a 1-on-0, that's rare, and while they're really hard to stop, you've got to have the attitude that you will be able to stop them at some point. Tip number 2, most shooters are taught to fake high on a lacrosse goalie and then shoot low. The reason they're taught that is because they're trying to get the lacrosse goalie to basically get their energy and their momentum up, like to basically overcommit to a high shot. The hands go up, they might even jump, and while that goalie is like basically unweighted, then it's an easy fake down below the goalie. So know that a lot of shooters are taught to fake high and then shoot low. So what should you do then? Don't commit to the first fake, right? I do a string drill with all my goalies where I show them, hey, when a player is in close and basically the way the ball can only go like this high above you. And so I take a string and I take that string from the crossbar all the way out to the offensive player's stick and show them this is how far you're going to need to move to be able to stop that ball and no higher. Because what happens, a lot of goalies, when they get in this 1-on-0 situation, they get totally faked out of their shorts and they got all these big, massive movements where they just commit and then they're totally out of position. So know that that shooter's going to probably fake the first shot, and you've just got to respect it, but not overcommit, because odds are they're going to basically fake high and then shoot low. So be ready to respect that shot and then explode down in front of the ball. Okay, another thing to consider in these 1-on-0 shots is sometimes the situation comes up, should you run out and attack the offensive player? And I don't mean attack, but get out there and maybe hit him, check him, and there's a couple rules to this. So this is tip 3, like when should you come out of the cage? So 3A is that, listen, if the ball is coming like it's a pass or maybe it's a ground ball that that was a missed pass and now it's basically rolling to an attackman, and you can get to that player before the ball comes to him or her, then by all means go. And so the point is that you're going to go out there to kind of meet that player when the ball shows up so that you can disrupt them. Maybe keep the ball rolling away or stop the ball, keep it on the ground and wait for help to come. Your defensemen should be right there. They should be, this should be just a little miss and that they're a couple steps away from being in the play. So if you can get to the ball before the offensive player is going to get it, then by all means go, okay? Now, if the offensive player gets the ball and they are behind goal line extended, right, which means like you take a line from pipe to pipe and you run it out to both sides of the field, if that offensive player is behind the goal line, like towards the end line, and you can go out there and play defense temporarily while your defenders come, and you can create a double team of that offensive player while they're behind the goal line and not an offensive threat, then that's something to consider as well. That's why I encourage most lacrosse goalies, you need to be athletic. You need to understand how to play defense. You need to understand how to funnel an offensive player to a defensive teammate so you can create pressure there and be an I call this an offensive defensive threat, right? You're not just sitting back there waiting for things to happen, okay? Tip number 4, if you've got to practice these, all right? And the best way to do these in practice is to recommend to your coach, get with a buddy or a bunch of buddies and use tennis balls so that you feel safe and you're not taking a beating. But get in the cage and have somebody fake you, like fake high, shoot low, fake right, fake left, work on the right pipe, work on the left pipe. Maybe start to mess around with, I'm one of the first lacrosse goalie coaches to really start to recommend switching hands. Like if I'm a right-handed goalie and I'm standing on my right pipe, well, my stick is like kind of jammed, and if I commit to a fake across my body, well, it takes a lot of time for me to come back, all right? If you watch my top 10 tips videos, I think it's part 2, I talk about surface area and explain this a little bit more, right? But basically, tip number 4 here is get in the cage in a situation where you can work on these things. Have an offensive player fake you, but fake you slowly first. Fake you, work on okay, that's what the stick looks like. You're developing your shot library and your shooter's library, all right? That's how you finally understand what's going on and why, then you start to know where the ball is going to go because you now start to understand these fakes. Listen, the game of lacrosse has gotten faster and faster over the years, and players, with offensive sticks, they can fake and fake and fake. Really, you should be able to follow the first fake, maybe the second fake, maybe the third fake if you're really athletic. But if an offensive player is standing in front of the crease all day and can fake you out of your shorts, that's your team's fault for letting that happen. So don't get too down on yourself. So Felix, listen, great question, and I really appreciate you sending that in. Listen, if you're watching this and you got a question for me, email me, coachedwards@lacrossegoalietips.com. Be sure to check out lacrossegoalieuniversity.com where we go into more detail on these sort of things. And I look forward to hearing from you. Leave me a comment below. Tell me a time when you got faked out, and by all means, share this with a coach or player who needs to see this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on our next video. Coach Edwards. Cheers.